So could you have saved that goal?
I don't think so. It got caught flat-footed. You were flat-footed. The ball is all on the top.
I'm surprised.
Jump to the sky?
I'm surprised.
Maybe you can ask Jesus.
Well, if he's already doing a Hail Mary, might as well.
Jesus over there. Come on.
Why is it so hot in here?
All right, you guys ready?
Is the air conditioner on?
It is on.
Yeah, it's on. All right, ready?
Is that an air conditioner?
Yeah, we got it from this guy from Body Soldier. He said it would be the coldest. I'm sweating over here.
You got people blowing over there.
All right. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Serie A Audio Experience with IFTV. It's been a couple weeks in a row that we haven't had the entire crew ready. Michael is back. It was we enjoyed those the last two episodes,
You
just
guys
us.
were crying. You kept messaging me, please come back next time. I was like, okay, I'll see what I can do.
so much nicer without this guy.
I know, right? It was calm. We were relaxed. Now we're all fighting.
Mike, I missed you.
Thank you, Gaetano. You're my favorite on the podcast. So
What is this? What is it? You see it? Look, all of a sudden the true colors come out.
You know what it is? They're looking at each other.
Antonio, who's your favorite on the podcast?
Nobody.
I set myself up for that one. Okay, guys, I think today, Serie A's top four were officially done.
It looks sealed, right?
We recorded a podcast a couple of days ago at the start of the week, doing a second one midweek since the round ended. And I think today, after the Roma game, which just ended, I think we have our top four officially done. And you know what I'd actually like to do as we get into this podcast? I'd like to go back and check our top four predictions, because that's how confident I am that it's going to end like this. Atalanta's 12 points ahead of Roma in fourth place. Would you guys, is it safe to say that this is how the top four is going to end?
Yes.
Everybody agree?
That's the top four, but not in that order.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just saying that's the top four. Anybody disagree? Antonio, you disagree?
No.
Okay. Peter, you agree?
Milan may come, no?
Maybe on the top five I can disagree. Maybe
Okay, no, that's fine. I just want top four Champions League.
Sealed.
I want to remind everybody, the last episode that we did, we took question and answers at the end of the podcast on our audio-only version. So it's on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and all those stuff. So there's going to be an extended version. After you're done with the video, you could head on over there, and we're going to answer every question that was sent in through Instagram and through Twitter. There's a link in the description so you could watch it, so you can listen to it wherever you listen to your podcasts. And as Antonio always says, make sure you rate it with 5 stars. Antonio, I always look to you. Where do you want to start today?
Let's start with AC Milan out of a big misfortune getting 1 point on Lazio and Roma.
Yeah.
That's a very good...
You know you had 39 shots?
I know. It's just,
39 shots.
I mean,
and they scored an own goal.
It's, nothing goes right for AC Milan. Nothing. I mean...
it went right at the end.
Yeah.
Well, at the end. Well,
You were down 2 goals.
You guys
I
could have
guess
lost
we
that
have to
game.
just kiss the ground. That
You guys could have lost that.
I didn't say you had to kiss the ground.
We should have won, but
You
at
were-
least by 5 goals differential.
Spal had 10 men, and you guys won in the 1 minute. Did you score the first goal?
ET. Oh, the
In the 79th minute. So with 10 minutes, you turned 2 goals around. I wouldn't
you
say
know
nothing
what?
goes your way.
There goes again the signature of Pioli, an ex-Inter coach, which is an imbecile.
He's a Milan coach right now.
Well, but
explain?
that's the rejects. Okay,
Exactly. You get the
what
rejects of
happens when
Inter.
you get Inter rejects, an idiot. So what he does, he puts Ibrahimovic inside when the game is almost over. I mean, what the hell are you waiting for? You're down to nothing on the end of the first half, and then he said, okay, maybe 5 minutes, and 10 minutes, and 15 minutes. Almost, the game was over. 20 minutes, almost 20 minutes before the end, he puts Ibrahimovic inside. This guy's an idiot. He's a total idiot.
I mean, Ibra was not fully fit.
That's
so
not beer. He didn't look fully injured to me. He looked in top shape. He looked in top shape. And as soon as Ibrahimovic came in, I mean, things are starting to move a little bit more.
I was very surprised with the match. I mean, as a whole, I was assuming. I mean, obviously, what we've always said, the smaller teams, they're very difficult to play right now because they're all fighting for their lives. At least Some of them. Brescia is the exception over here. But a lot of the times they try to fight for their life and they really push really hard. So obviously it was never going to be easy for Milan. But I think if Milan wanted any hope of trying to get top 4, this was a match. You're playing
Yeah, for
SPAL.
sure.
You have to pick up the 3 points no matter what. You went down 2-0 in the match. SPAL went down with a stupid red card, which people said that it shouldn't have been a red
It was
card.
a red card.
Flocari's goal, by
If
the
you
way,
look at
guys.
if you look at the shoes, it goes straight. It just
I saw a replay where it looked like he actually got the ball first.
It's so what? Doesn't mean anything. But when
Yeah,
you
it
can
does.
you can get the ball at the bottom, and now you can get the ball at the top. You went to skim the shin of the guy, and then you touch slightly the ball. That's a red card. Forget about it.
fair
Hands
enough.
down.
But Michael, he already hinted at it. That goal from Flocari.
I don't know how that came.
39 years old, the guy.
Insane.
Unbelievable.
He
volley.
laced that. Oh,
What
it
a
was
shot.
incredible. It was
You're lucky.
incredible.
Just 99% of the stuff is luck. 99.99. Because that guy didn't even mean it to put it over there.
Well, yes,
Come
he
on.
It
did.
just went in. Yes,
Come
I'm
on.
positive.
He
What
meant
was
to
he
pass
trying
it,
to do?
right? He
Just
meant to pass the
shoot
ball.
over his
Yeah, no, boom. He just threw it like that. It's like a Hail Mary. This is a typical Hail Mary that you're down on 3 points over
They're
there.
up 1-0.
On a football
They're
game.
up 1-0. He didn't have to do
On a
that.
football game, an Hail Mary is when you throw the
I know
ball
what it
all the way to
is.
the other end
But
zone.
they were winning. They didn't have to do
It
that.
was 1-0.
What are you talking
They were
about?
up
It
1-0
doesn't
when he-
matter.
of course-
It doesn't matter. The guy was
Speak it
going
to the mic, Anto.
He was about to lose the ball, so he threw the shot and he went in.
You had a question for him before. What was your question?
No, he already asked him the question about Donnarumma.
No,
If,
we're not on the podcast.
Huh?
Ask him the question
He's
again.
upset that
Ask him for the
Donnarumma is the
podcast.
number 1 goalkeeper
I
of the
know.
world.
I was going to say, many times you have said, that some of the goals that Buffon gets or that Meret gets, that you could have saved them. So could you have saved that goal?
I don't think
mean,
so. It got caught flat-footed. It got caught flat-footed. You were flat-footed.
surprised.
The ball is all over the top. What are you
I'm
going to jump to the
surprised.
sky?
I'm surprised.
Maybe you can ask
No.
Jesus.
Well, if he's already doing a Hail Mary, might as well.
Jesus over there. Come on.
But maybe he was out of position. You would have been in position to get it.
You would have had a
'Cause
ladder
if
to
he was in
climb up.
position, he would have gone like this and just grabbed the ball.
Easy with one hand.
Yeah.
You see what happened? The type of abuse, guys. You see the type of abuse that I able to take over here.
Type of
Was Donnarumma at fault, Peter? What do you think?
I mean, that was a spectacular shot. He got caught off guard.
He
Should
was
he
a
have
little
been
off
in a
his
better
line.
position?
I mean, if he's in a better position, he probably gets the ball. But he got caught. It was literally the guy saw the opening and Flocari took it. I don't think it's luck. I think it's a
No,
little bit
absolutely
of skill.
not luck.
I'm just playing with him.
I think a more interesting question is if this happened to Meret, would he have said that Meret was at fault?
He would have called all of us. He would have called all of us.
No
Already.
way. He would have said I could have saved that.
Can't talk. Can't talk.
Anyway, as far as AC Milan is concerned, you are a couple of points away from Napoli.
We could have been tied today.
Okay, so you have a chance for Europa
2
League.
points away.
That's all you can shoot for. You cannot shoot for something else. From Rome, I think they are about 5 points away.
Yes.
So Napoli today lost. Not that AC Milan, like you said, Pioli doesn't do anything for me either.
Nah.
So you might have a chance for Europa League, but that's as far as you can go.
For the Champions League, how many points we
No,
have from
forget
Champions
about
League?
it.
Don't even. You're gonna get mad. If
I need a
we tell you.
calculator. One second.
Roma is
17.
12
that's so
points
much.
away. You're 5 points away from
17.
From Roma.
Jesus. That's like 50 hands.
where
right
you gonna
there.
go. Not going anywhere.
Yo, by the way, you put Milan in 3rd place. We sent the video.
Objectively, it's a third place team. I mean, hey,
Are you sure?
we got robbed.
Are you
Listen
sure,
to me.
Peter said?
You look at all the episodes and all the penalties that were not given to us and were given against
Cry
us.
me a river.
We're
Cry
only
me-
15, 20 points right
Yeah,
there.
you
It's like a
just-
highway robbery over
Yeah,
here.
you're 20 points away, so you're
Yeah.
right there.
If
yeah.
Paquetá was
sure.
the Kaká that you were saying he
What's
was
the
whole
famous
time,
thing? If my grandmother had wheels, she would be a bike.
Yeah, should be a bike.
Yeah.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
All right.
Oh, wait a moment. Look who's talking up there. You were supposed to
Why?
be winning already the Champions League,
You were the only one
the
that
Coppa
said it.
Italia. What did you win so far?
You were the only one that said it. We're getting 40 million at the end of the year, guaranteed. That's
Shave like a bumper.
Where does that come from?
Oh man, this episode started out hilarious.
Man.
Good job by SPAL, but they threw it away at the end. And my dad and I were talking about this before. I always felt like, and even Michael, when we were texting, I said, SPAL is going to throw this game away. You could just feel by the way that they were scared.
They
I
were.
mean,
They were
even their coach,
terrified,
Di Biagio, got sent off. And I don't know what you're doing getting sent off with a couple minutes left to go. Your team is winning. Stay calm and be there for your team. I don't know. Very stupid for him to get that emotional. And it always felt like these teams were so scared to be playing against Milan. They did very well until the end. But then that fear, in my opinion, overcame them. And they scored an own goal.
The own goal was from outside the area. What the hell are you doing? I mean, if you're next to the goalkeeper and
That's
maybe
one
you're
thing,
trying
yeah.
to save the ball from going in, okay.
He didn't have any
But then if
composure.
you're-
He just flung himself to try
Yeah.
to block the ball.
What the hell are you
that was
doing?
bad.
But Milan had so many chances that they should have, I think, put
That's
away
true,
for
yeah.
many opportunities where the final was not there and pretty unlucky.
There's a big
if
one
you would ask
too.
me.
There was a handball in the box too. At the end, Milan probably should have got a penalty. But
was a handball?
yeah, there was a handball
There was a
in
handball?
the box. Yeah, everyone was going crazy.
Really?
Yeah, you guys didn't see that?
No, I didn't
There was a
see it.
handball in the box.
I know the Milan fans were mad that he stopped the game with a couple seconds left. I think there was like 4 seconds left and Milan were on top, and he stopped the game. And I know I thought Milan were going to end up winning the match because SPAL completely threw themselves away.
I mean, listen, SPAL's not used to.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
that's pretty
a-
bad.
it was a
I would need to
blatant
see the
handball.
video, but that's pretty bad.
Oh, with the.
Yeah?
No, I think it hit his shoe, if I remember correctly. It
But-
went like
Oh,
bounced off
deflection.
his foot.
Yeah, that's
Was
why
it
you
a-
need to see a video instead
Oh,
of
it
a
was a
picture.
shoe?
Yeah, it
You
fell
can't.
off.
You
okay.
can't see. You
That
can't.
was an Inter game. That would have been a penalty.
Nah, I don't think so.
This is the penalty that I was telling you before. This is another one. Okay, this is one of the 20 penalty that we haven't been given. Everything against us, no miss. But if it's gonna have to be a penalty, they can change the game for AC Milan. No penalty.
I say we move on. We'll move on. We won't go. We'll go to Inter next. Actually, let's just go to Inter. 6-0 against Brescia.
Is that a tennis score or?
Tennis score, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 6-12.
6-0.
They humiliated Brescia.
Brescia looked like
Brescia team or what?
yeah. It was the first team.
Did you guys tie with them or something? You should
Tonali
know
was
that.
there. Did they?
Tonali was there.
Everybody was there for them. I mean,
Congratulations, you got another loser.
I think it's the first time Inter actually put a game to bed without them have to bite their nails and go crazy.
I mean,
Like, look, the first game of the
Gagliardini
season.
scored. Guys, Gagliardini scored. What does
for
that say?
Gagliardini to score and
Yeah.
for Candreva to score, that
Yeah.
means that the people they probably folded already.
That's
Listen,
what I'm
one thing
saying.
I wanted to say about this game is this. Tonali, the last 2-3 games, has been sucking. So I will be so happy if Inter they take over again. This other player over there, I don't want that to be another big flop. Okay? So, I mean, if AC Milan takes it, we can, we can work on the kid.
could change it.
Okay? But if Inter takes, I think it's going to be another flop. Tonali's not with his head on the game anymore.
Well,
I
it's
think Tonali, like your father said the other day,
By Lautaro.
about the Juventus player that you got over there
Pjanic.
too, Pjanic and all the stuff. So a lot of those guys, they already thinking about money and pack up from the locker room and go. So I think Tonali is one of them.
Well, I actually have it written down here. I saw an influx of questions being sent to us, or at least comments on it. And I read through the comments like after the game and see, and a lot of people were saying, even Dario commented on it, and he said Tonali is one of the most overrated players that we have in Serie A. I wanted to know everybody's response to that.
I think he played the first half pretty well. I mean, the first 4 or 5 months. But now, all of these rumors, the transfers rumors, and the fact that it's 2-3 teams or 4 or 5 teams interested on the kid.
But the question
I
is
think
he
it's-
overrated?
I don't think the most.
How old is the kid?
Like 19?
19?
Okay, who is better at that position? The guy looks like Pirlo. He
20
plays
years
like
old.
Pirlo.
He just turned 20.
Okay, he turns like Turner. He's got confidence. He's playing with a bad team. But at that age, with the skills and the mentality and the vision that you have, he's got the kid. I don't think is.
but
if he
Gaetano-
goes to a good team, I think he's going to do very well.
Yeah,
I
Gaetano.
think that's fair. The only thing is, can you really hold people's standards? Like, if you're saying, if people are calling him the next Pirlo, is it really his fault to be called overrated? Because I don't think he's overrated. I think he's a really good player. But you can't put
no.
somebody else's standards,
No.
on what he is. I think he's a very good player. Like you said, 20 years old, and he plays with a great calmness.
What play?
Maybe
He
these-
disappeared in the last 3 games. Where is your leadership role?
Maybe the last 3 games. He's
20 years old.
He's 20 years
20?
old.
What do you want
His
him to
team's
do?
going to Serie
What do you
B.
want
He's
him to
already
do?
thinking about where
At
his
20
next
years
move
old,
is.
my legs were behind my back. I was.
You gotta go to a doctor. Did you get that checked out?
What Serie A were you playing?
Don't worry about that. I will discuss it with you later.
Serie Benson.
20 years old, you're supposed to be...
By 14.
I was not in the United States. At 20 years old, you're supposed to have leadership roles over there. The guy doesn't take over the game.
That's
Come
not fair.
on.
I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair.
I don't know. Yeah.
Me
okay.
personally, I don't think it's fair.
I just hope he doesn't go to Inter. I hope he changes his mind. That's the only thing that I'm.
That's
just,
something
Not
different.
changing his
Anyway,
mind.
about the match, one thing I really wanted to point out, and we were very vocal about it online, Alexis Sanchez for Inter has been such a revelation since the break. I think, and we said this when he came off the bench mostly, that he brings an energy to the team. But even as a starter today, where he put Lukaku on the bench and Eriksen on the bench, I think Sanchez it's been the Sanchez show for Inter. I know they're playing Brescia, but either way, I think Sanchez has been real good for Inter.
Well, yeah. I was just going to say real quick. Yeah, he's been disappointed for the first half of the season, so it's good to actually see what he's actually got. Because in the beginning, he was always subbed on and whatever.
Conte got mad at people for saying that, by the way.
Okay.
He
He can
said
be mad
you're
whatever he
getting
wants.
mad. He said
Yeah.
you're calling him a bad player when he
not
wasn't
sa-
fit.
I'm not saying a bad player, but I'm just saying he wasn't showing his true colors. Now it seems like the past couple of games, he's assisting. He's actually getting plays. He's getting penalties, so he's actually looking
You
much
agree?
better.
No, I actually agree with Conte in his saying that Alexis Sanchez, first off, he came to Inter late in the season. Conte is very tactic driven. His style wants a certain fitness level, so he was always on the bench trying to ease in. He had a great game where he scored, I think, a goal, 2 goals,
And an assist, right?
An assist, and then he gets red carded. Plays the Barcelona game also in the second, had a good game. Goes to Chile, gets injured in October. Okay, we're talking about October. Misses a good 3-4 months, starting to get back into rhythm, and then we have the coronavirus. So, like, he really hasn't had the time
To gel, yeah.
to be in the game. Rightfully so. Alexis Sanchez is a champion. Whenever you're called, you're supposed to play at the highest level that you can play. Listen, he played with Barcelona.
I'm
Arsenal,
not saying
Manchester United.
anything. You were almost puking on him until yesterday. I mean, he was a champion. Okay.
But what I'm saying is this game, he played very well.
I
Granted,
agree.
it's versus Brescia. Him and Lautaro, they were linked up. Great to see that Lukaku and Eriksen are able to get a rest and you're able to score goals, which is huge. Like Mike said before, Inter closed the game in the first half 3-0 already. D'Ambrosio played in that 3-man defense. Scores a goal also. And Victor Moses had a great game. Was able to take on the player.
If Conte has any pelotas or cojones, I think the next game is against Bologna.
I know what you're gonna say.
I will put Sanchez, Lukaku, and Eriksen behind.
Lautaro on the bench.
Lautaro, go on the bench. Go sit down.
Wow.
Be interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
was-
Lautaro, I think he needs to sit on the bench and
Rediscover himself.
is
Yeah.
it.
He was pissed when he got subbed off. He did not look happy. He wanted a goal. He was the only one that,
He
and not the
missed
only
it.
one, but I mean, when Gallardini and Candreva are scoring, I'm sure Lautaro's looking at himself like, come on, I got to be able to get a goal too. And then he put in Lukaku and Eriksen, and he took out Lautaro pretty early. I think like 65th, 70th minute, and you could just see Lautaro. Obviously, he can't say anything because Conte would smack him, but you could see in his eyes that he wanted to stay on and try to be able to get a goal. And I think he's not living right now a calmness like. He looks very stressed out when he's playing. It's not the same Lautaro.
There's a lot of
that it's
pressure on
been.
him now too. I feel like
Yeah.
What
but also
pressure,
even,
Mike? What
even
pressure?
the pressure of all the rumors.
What rumors?
Well, you
The
know the
guy's not
rumors.
going anywhere. None of the money that you guys are looking for. There's no more money for that kind of players.
No
That
more
guy's
money.
That guy's another fluke.
But even Sanchez takes the penalty. Usually, if Lautaro's there or
shit.
Lukaku, maybe Lautaro should have taken it. But also to get Alexis on the scoring sheet.
Would you
one
bench him?
question? I mean, I wouldn't mind. Lautaro's been playing all the games, so I mean, you could have a sit and I
think it's a
and
good idea.
relax a little bit and
I agree.
get the
Wake
other
him
guys
up
in.
too.
The only thing is, I'm interested in seeing like you're winning this game 5-0. Why not put the kid Sebastian
I agree.
Esposito?
I agree.
Like, I would be very interested to see him what he does. No pressure.
Instead of Lukaku.
You know, instead
why,
of Lukaku.
why are
Yeah.
you wasting
I was
Lukaku when you have so
surprised.
many games
I was
in a
surprised
row?
that Lukaku
But
was
maybe
gonna
it's
go
something to do. He's also
It was his birthday too.
contract or something like that on training.
You know
so
what it is?
who
Maybe
knows?
that kid needs to get out of Inter. Maybe he's going to become a great player in some other team.
Like where?
Maybe AC Milan. We can use him.
He just turned 18.
So what?
No,
No,
I
he's-
was just
good.
I was just saying that's
Yeah,
good.
we'll
So
take him.
defensive.
yeah, I
we'll
wasn't saying
take
anything
him. We'll
negative.
take him.
And
Definitely.
if you're Barcelona right now, okay,
Oh, God.
Forget about we're on the podcast right now. We are Barcelona's board. Each member of us are Barcelona's board. Antonio, I don't know how you got here, but you got here. All right. if you are Barcelona's board, are you going to spend 111 million euros for Lautaro Martinez? Antonio, Barcelona director Antonio. I'm not gonna say your last name.
Over my dead body. I will make sure that he pays the team to join them. That absolutely is a huge rip-off. Listen, for that transfer at the kind of money that you were talking about it, way overboard. 25, $30 million, that's the value of Lautaro for me. No more.
What are you saying?
What were you gonna say?
Absolutely not even close to 110 million. No way.
30. Top.
What do you value him?
We've said it. He said it last podcast.
He's probably 50%.
Six,
Around 60, 65.
Barcelona director Peter Curto.
No, 111. Obviously, on the buying side, you don't want. No, I don't want to spend 111 considering you paid Dembele around that money. Griezmann, all these guys, and they've turned out to be up in the air. If it's around maybe 80 million, I'll spend.
Mike?
Yeah, around 70, 80 maybe, but not
Yeah.
110.
No, definitely not.
Especially in this
Too
market
expensive.
right
Yeah.
now.
Way too
No,
expensive.
I agree with him.
everything
I agree
going
with my
on.
dad. He's 50 to 60 million. 50 to 60
I
million.
think they can
And
get
And
more.
it's
I
a little
think
bit
discussing all of this money, just record transfer money. Where are the people where are they going to get the money? From the TV rights?
Yeah, they
Where
got-
are the team? There's no
Barcelona makes a lot of
spectators, guys.
Barcelona,
They
don't
make
worry
a
about
lot of money.
Barcelona.
There is no spectators there.
Barcelona's got the money.
they
Barcelona
Nobody's
need to
buying the
sign
hot dogs or
somebody,
the beers.
so-
Nobody's buying. Nobody's buying shirts. Nobody's buying anything.
Nah,
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, no.
Where are the money? Where are they coming from?
TV rights.
Spain is in deep recession. So is Italy. Where are they getting this money from, those people?
All
We're
right, I
discussing here millions and millions
I
of
don't know.
dollars.
We're
We're moving
switching
on.
like
We're moving on.
subjects.
We're moving on. We can't go. We're not going into
110 million dollars, 10 million
Don't worry
euro.
about the money right now.
I'm worrying about the money.
just saying
Give
how-
me the money.
You're not on the board anymore.
You said he's worth what?
Maybe 20, 30, 20.
Yeah.
I will tie.
So don't worry about
the
it.
money
They got
to
20
performance.
20, 30,
I
they
wouldn't
got
even give it to him.
They have
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Please.
Juventus 3-1 win over Genoa.
Yeah.
Finally, we saw an exciting Juventus that actually had some vision, some good midfield play. Dybala gets the start as the falsa nueve with Ronaldo. They look like they were linking up beautifully. Again, Dybala and Ronaldo have been two of Juventus's best players. One beautiful goal after the other. Dybala's goal was incredible, was very good. Ronaldo scored with 105 kilometers an hour, a shot that clocked in 105 kilometers an hour.
Perin's arms would have snapped if he touched
Beautiful
that.
goal. Perin, to get to his credit, he did amazing
he
until
saved a
the
lot.
goal started going in. He was saving a lot. And then the third goal, Douglas Costa, incredible.
That's insane.
Beautiful class goal from Costa, who came in off the bench and did an incredible job. And also, Douglas Costa, if you guys watch, he went live on Twitch wearing his culture shirt. So that was very nice. He loves that shirt. He wears it all the time.
Good job,
Nice
Douglas.
shirt.
He keeps posting it. We made a joke. We said, who wears their culture shirt more, Antonio or Douglas Costa?
Me.
But so I was really happy that he scored. And again, Juventus, Bentancur after the match said, we finally understand what Sarri wanted from us. He said, we understood.
Oh, it's one game. We'll
I'm
gotta
just
see. Yeah, I
saying
know.
what he said.
I know.
He said, we understood what needed to be done and the movement. I think he said, we understood the movements that Sarri's been asking us for.
They're gonna tie against Brescia. It's like maybe we didn't fully understand what Sarri said, so we'll go back in the training.
So the
It's
next
only one
time, the
game.
next game that you guys gonna tie, not the game, so we still don't understand again.
That's what I'm.
I'm not
Does that
saying
mean
anything
that you're
about that.
guys gonna keep Sarri because they just finally understood his system?
Maybe we will. What I like, my storyline here is about Dybala as a striker. There's been a lot of talk, even though amongst here we've had some disagreements on Juventus. They want Milik, they want Pinamonti, they want Jesus, they want somebody for the striker role. But if Dybala keeps this up, if he can play in that falsa nueve, which I really love watching Dybala in that position because he has the freedom to move where he wants. Dybala loves to go anywhere. And when he comes in, Ronaldo can go in and take that center position. I just enjoyed the way that they moved. In my opinion, the only person that needs to be replaced is that Bernardeschi on the right wing. Besides that, so far, and I think Juventus need to evaluate until the end of the season, how does this work in Champions League? How does this work to finish off the season? Can Dybala really play in this false number 9 role? Because then for me, I'm looking at it, I'm saying, listen, Don't spend 50 million and waste it. Number one, on Milik, which makes no sense. But number two, spend the money in the midfield to give these guys more opportunities and get more of the ball. That's my opinion. I think that spending 50 million on Milik would be a waste when we have Dybala, who's so far showing us, number one, Dybala was embarrassing that they almost sold him. But number two, that he's playing in a very good number 9 role. What do you think? Because I know you have a strong opinion on this.
No, I think that Juventus still needs a center forward, and you need the right center forward. Like we were talking about it before, Ronaldo likes the center forward that checks in and comes out, so that Ronaldo can go inside. Yes, that's what Dybala does. He checks in, he checks out, and then so Dybala he creates the space. But like you said, Bernardeschi is not that productive. And if you're going in Champions League, I think you need another very productive player. That player could be Douglas Costa. But you said he gets hurt a lot. He's not always there. So to me, the ideal would be to get a center forward, a great center forward, that checks in so that it creates the space for Dybala and for Ronaldo to go in. And Dybala could still play behind the forwards like he does now, but instead of starting from a center forward position, he can start from the right wing position and then come behind the forwards. And when the center forward checks in, I would like to have that board. Maybe we can show it the next time. When Dybala, when the center forward checks in, then Dybala can go in and Ronaldo can go in from each side.
We have some transfer news too that we'll go through soon. Anybody else have a strong opinion on the striker?
I think Dybala's when the player that you're versing knows what you're gonna do and you're still able to go through him and score, you know you're a good player. I mean, Dybala, these last games that he's been over here has been phenomenal, scoring every game. If I'm correct,
He scored 15 goals altogether. 10 in Serie A, I think 4 and 4.
No, I'm saying since coming back.
Yeah, I think he's
scoring
the last 4. And what's really interesting about Dybala, his 10 Serie A goals, 7 out of the 10 came when Juventus were 0-0.
Yeah.
So important
Decisive.
goals, crucial goals.
And I think I see Dybala more as a second striker because I like to see that mix. I like to see two when you have a bigger, stronger, more direct type of forward, and then the second striker working off of him.
How embarrassed should Paratici be, by the way, for trying to sell Dybala? He should be very embarrassed.
I have the answer for your stuff. I mean, the perfect player to do what you ask to do, just come in, check in, and then either Dybala or Ronaldo just go in from either side, the left or the right. It will be Icardi. That's a freaking player.
It's too late.
No. Icardi is a man in the area. He doesn't come out of the
But
area.
he does. He's very good with
He's
the
a
back
poacher.
behind
He's
the
a
neck.
poacher.
He's
He's
very
a-
He
good.
just stays in the box, waits for
He
he's
stays
good for
most
that,
of the
though.
time in the box.
Yeah,
You
he
need
doesn't build
somebody-
up.
You need somebody that comes out of the box so that
And helps
Ronaldo can go
attack.
in, and then you have Dybala can go in.
He's like a playmaker too.
They
Dybala.
spoke about, there was in the
Right.
news this weekend, and I'm going to be honest, I got a little bit probably too excited than I should have. Rai was reporting that Juventus and Barcelona are working again for another deal. This time they're saying Rabiot and Douglas Costa swapped for Griezmann. They're saying
that's a big pickup.
they were saying the problem right now is that Griezmann makes 17 million a year, and Rabiot and Costa together make 14 million. So there's still a difference in the price. It's not much, but Griezmann would have to lower his price. I think if you put Ronaldo, Griezmann, and Dybala up top,
You're getting your hopes so high.
I don't
right
care
now.
where you play them.
That's so
You're
hard
gonna
for
win
that
20
happen.
Champions Leagues, right?
In the same season.
Yeah, in the same
In the same
probably.
season.
I think that's beautiful.
I will work
That
on
sounds
that
amazing.
deal. I will definitely work on that deal. Definitely.
What do you think? You like Griezmann,
Oh,
right?
I love Griezmann.
I think you're a big fan of Griezmann.
I am.
He hasn't worked out at Barca.
Yeah, he
and
hasn't.
even against Atletico, Barca played Atletico. They tied 2-2. And their coach, the coach is an idiot.
Setien?
Yeah, he's an idiot. They asked him after the match, why you didn't put Griezmann on. He's like, it's 2-2. You had 10 minutes left. Why are you not putting Griezmann? He said, Griezmann will ruin the balance of our team. You spent how many I don't know, over 100 million, I think, for Griezmann, and he ruins the balance of your team.
Maybe there's some
What
problems.
the hell?
Maybe there's just some personal problems.
Apparently,
Who
a
knows?
few weeks before that, he said, Griezmann's a very important player. He's incredible. We're going to rely on him like from a month ago. So something happened from then until now, and Griezmann is definitely on the out for Barcelona. Definitely big pickup. I think a couple teams will be looking at Griezmann, but then it also asks you what other team could he go to? And it's kind of hard to find a big team in Europe that plays Champions League football that could get Griezmann.
PSG.
PSG, well, they got Mbappe. Oh, they're getting rid of Cavani, right? But they got Mbappe, Neymar, and Icardi. They're gonna add Griezmann to the list.
Oh yeah. Listen,
Maybe.
by the way, listen.
It's not a bad. It's not a bad.
Those big teams, all they do, they use the process of elimination by just when they acquiring. They not necessarily need that particular player, but they know that if they take Griezmann away from Barcelona, or if they take Ronaldo away from Juventus, they said, okay, we don't have to worry about Juventus. We got Ronaldo over here. We're gonna, even if we sit him on the bench, that's what they do. It's process of elimination. Eliminate the competition.
I think PSG
In
can sign
order for
whoever
you
they
to
want.
win.
They can't win. They need a real coach behind them
it's
to
hard.
actually
Hard
create a
for
plan.
them.
I have nothing else to say about Juventus. Anybody else have anything to say?
3 amazing
Okay.
goals.
Let's move
That's
on. Lazio, Torino. Another struggle, I would say, for Lazio. Torino went up 1-0 in this match. Lazio, again, of course, they made the comeback. Simone Inzaghi's men, my dad's favorite coach, Simone Inzaghi, made the comeback, and they got the 2-1 win, which they definitely needed if they wanted to keep the scudetto dream alive. I thought they were going to put some more pressure on Juventus than it did, but eventually Lazio, they stayed with it. Torino, I mean, I don't think Torino could buy a win these days.
Torino
They're
are
so poor.
such a strange team. They don't play well together. I don't know. Even if they're up 2 goals, I feel like they're always gonna concede. Their coach Longo hasn't been doing well since he arrived, since Mazzarri got sacked. And they're not gonna get relegated, obviously, but they're always in that like low mid-table position on the table. They need a refresh of something. And I just want to say, Belotti, as a captain and the striker, he doesn't score nearly as many goals as he needs to. He just had 1 good season, and he holds the ball well, and he has to score more goals.
One thing about this game that came out pretty big. Now Lazio's next match. You know what they're playing?
AC Milan.
You know who's not going to be there?
The 3 strikers.
Immobile and Caicedo are not going to be there. They're
But
both suspended.
Even the other guy just got injured. What's his
Who?
name? Somebody got injured too during the game, and he's not going to be part of the game.
I'm not sure. Michael will check.
Yeah.
But yeah, how can Lazio do? Now this is a big test. Immobile, 29 goals this season in 29 games. Again, the guy is crazy. He's about to break a record if he gets to 30 goals, but he's not going to be there. Can Milan do anything against Lazio? And what's the character of Lazio to lose their 2 starting strikers?
Listen, we're gonna go over there and not play for the tie. We need points. If we can win, we'll win. If we tie, we tie. It is what it is. But Inzaghi is beatable to me. Inzaghi is beatable.
Where did all this Inzaghi hate come from all of a sudden?
What?
I said, I'm just wondering where this
Well,
Inzaghi hate came from.
It was just one, no?
No, my dad went off on him.
Yeah,
last
just one.
podcast.
I said, just your
Yeah,
dad.
and now him.
Well,
You
Inzaghi.
just said he's beatable, no?
Yeah, by Milan.
Yeah.
That's hate.
You listen to what this guy takes for real.
Put Ibrahimovic inside of the mix over there with the rest of the couple, the young kids at the Sales Maker or whatever. I think AC Milan, with a little luck, we can beat them.
I don't know about beat them. Maybe a tie.
Pete, what do you think?
Nah, we'll beat them. They're beatable. I think we're gonna beat them.
Interesting to see how who he puts up top.
It's gonna
But-
be,
Correa and
they're gonna need someone else. They're gonna have to
Unless
put
you-
a bench player that they don't really have. I'm looking
Well,
at
I mean,
the
you're losing both your center forwards. So
I
you're gonna
put Luis
change that
Alberto
thing.
up there.
But yeah, I mean
Segura.
that's what you can maybe
He's
play
good.
a false 9 or something.
But he's assists
Luis
a lot. He
Alberto
assists like
higher
every
up.
game. That guy. It's incredible
Yeah.
how much
But
he's part of the play.
Yeah, but I think also Lazio's midfield is their strong point. So I mean, if they can dominate the midfield, whoever plays up top, they'll get the chances to score.
service, for
And as
sure.
long as you get that 1 goal in, you should be able to beat Milan if you're aiming for the scudetto. That being said, Milan, they look good until versing SPAL. I don't know what happened.
They played good
They
against
got
Roma.
caught off guard maybe with that early goal and then the beautiful goal with Flocari. So I'm sure Milan wants to come back blazing. Ibrahimovic back. Does he start? I'm not sure, but we know already Ibrahimovic, if he's healthy, he's got to be the main guy up top because he can score and create and gets all the
Pete, as much as I hate Inter, I will actually put you on the bench of AC Milan and coach the team, and I will leave Conte,
Pioli.
home. I said, okay, How the hell you leave Ibrahimovic in top shape?
Wasn't
The guy
fully
was
fit.
ready
He
to
wasn't healthy. I said
play.
if he's healthy.
He was ready to play from the first
What are you
minute.
saying from the TV? You're telling us this
I
information?
can tell you right away. The guy he
Tell
was
that to the team
listen to
doctor.
me, he warmed up and he was on the sideline for 15 minutes before he got subbed in. Come on.
That's what you
is
do.
the-
You
yes,
warm
yeah,
up.
that's normal.
No. You're losing to nothing. You don't warm up for 15 minutes. You put your shirt on and you go right
Yeah,
in.
that's how you get injured.
Immobile and Caicedo, they are yellow card accumulations. Does that rule still should that rule still be
It's
here?
annoying, right?
Yellow card accumulations.
Part of
It's
the-
annoying.
Come on,
Oh, you
I
get
don't.
5 yellow cards in
Yeah,
the
it's
next
on
one.
Nah, I don't
there.
like that rule. I don't like that rule. Yellow cards. It's come on. You didn't get a
Part of the
red.
management. It's part of the management, but
Yeah, but yellow cards during a match are important.
Let them pay for the yellow cards. Forget about putting them on the bench. Let
don't-
them pay money.
I don't like
For
to
yellow
see
cards.
Immobile was the best striker our league has according to
need
goals.
we need the players
You're
to
out because
play.
of yellows.
And, you
What?
know,
Because he
when
took
you-
his shirt off a couple times.
Yeah,
Come
that's-
on, I don't like that. I think it's stupid. Yeah. Even you give the guy a yellow card for taking his shirt off. I mean, there's too much, and then you get accumulation. I don't like it.
that's not it.
I'm not saying it's against the rule, but I'm just saying I don't think it should be a rule.
The shirt off is time wasting. Some people used to complain
How's
they should
it?
take their shirt off and 3 minutes
Oh,
go.
that's what it was?
But
I
they
thought it
could
was more of like
no,
a-
okay, but they could run to the fans. Sometimes they, in
They get a
Napoli,
yellow
they
card
run
if-
all the way there. They don't get a yellow.
if they stay too long.
The Florenzi,
They stay too long.
When
Okay, but-
Florenzi
I
went
don't
for his
know.
grandmother in
Yeah,
the
he
stand
got
for
a yellow.
20.
He
Oh,
got a
he got
yellow. He got a
Oh, okay,
yellow.
I wasn't sure. I was
Yeah, but
asking.
come on.
Bobo Vieri
Anyway,
used to take off his shirt, go over there.
anyway,
And then
it's,
after he went to his grandmother, to the fans, then they let him go out of the stadium just in another team. Look what happened to him. They're supposed to be the captain of Roma.
Where did this come from? This was a few
I want to talk.
seasons
I want to talk about Fiorentina's match. They lost 3-1
God.
to Sassuolo.
no.
It was 3-0 for a pretty significant amount of time. Fiorentina could not buy a goal. They were hitting the post. They were scoring. It was offsides. They had so many opportunities that I was expecting them to go in, but something always happened. Sassuolo, led by De Frel, who did really, really, really good job, and Boga, who you pointed out.
Wow, what a play.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he liked Boga
I think
a
AC
lot.
Milan is on that kid over there.
Maybe. But Sassuolo really turned it on, and Fiorentina looked horrible. Like, very, very. This was a game for Fiorentina that obviously Sassuolo and Fiorentina, they both wanted to win. But Fiorentina in their home, I was expecting a lot more from them.
Yeah, I watched that game instead of watching the
Me too,
Milan game
actually.
because they're both at the bottom around the same position in the table. And Chiesa, man, he had a chance 1v1. He missed, the goalie makes a save, whatever. And then
He had
just,
one that he missed,
And just
though.
from there, like Castrovilli, who's usually has been great this year, causes a boneheaded sliding
Mistake.
tackle in the box to give up the penalty. Then is at fault on the third goal where he's sleeping. I don't know. There's no real explanation for it, how you let somebody take the ball from you like that. That being said, like Ribéry, the guy is unbelievable, and we know this already. And I just feel bad for him because he's playing with players that don't understand him or not quick enough to play the game. Sassuolo, I mean, we have to say they've been scoring a lot of goals. They give up a lot of chances, but versus Inter they scored 3 goals. Versus Atalanta they gave them a run for their money. Scored
Verona,
2 goals.
they started the game
Verona
3-3.
3-3. So I
That's a
mean,
good point.
De Zerbi has this team playing very well. Boga is destined to play for a big team, maybe Milan. He's quick
What did you guys think?
and crafty. So I mean, I also Locatelli, ex-Milan player, is in the
He's still part
regista
of
role.
AC Milan, I think.
The regista role.
No,
I think
so.
it's no longer.
So
No, I don't think so.
you know,
I think it's
just-
Prestito.
I don't think
it's
so.
on loan.
The one thing that
But-
the one thing I found ironic is Fiorentina. I think one of the biggest things is the center forward role. Like Ribéry doesn't have that real partner. And we're going through, and Simeone today, yesterday, he scored his 10th Serie A goal, and it's 4-4. 4 goals in 4 games. And Simeone was a Fiorentina player he's got 10 goals. It's more than Chiesa's had in I don't know how many seasons combined. And then you also got Luis Muriel, who off the bench alone has 9 goals. These are 2 players who in the summer were with Fiorentina. They were in the Fiorentina squad, who I think if you put them in the team right now
my
with
God.
Ribéry, they could have done real damage.
Maybe. I mean, it's hard to say because there's so many factors. Because look at the team that Atalanta have. Look at the team that Cagliari had. They're having a pretty good season. Yeah, I know, but they're having a
It's
pretty
not
good
that good.
season overall for them.
As I said at the last podcast, I don't like Iachini. I don't think Iachini knows what he's doing. I think he looks scared, lost on the sideline. I don't like the Chiesa and
Ribery up front.
Ribéry up front. That's not their position.
Yeah. Chiesa said it too. Chiesa says I'm a winger. He's like,
yeah,
but
no,
I play
that's
striker, but he
right,
prefers a
that's not-
winger.
that's not his
He
position.
doesn't know how to really finish.
For Fiorentina, I would say lack of leadership, inside the field and outside the field. The only one that saves himself is Ribéry.
He can't do it all himself,
I think
though.
that's right. He cannot do it
He's
all himself.
37.
Ribéry's class, he could bring. I thought he would bring the leadership, in the locker room and inside the field. But maybe you're right. Is it's by yourself. It's not that difficult. His mentality is it comes from Bayern Munich, a winning top mentality, and maybe it's difficult to if everybody doesn't listen to him. But for Fiorentina, I mean the midfield, I don't like it. I would get De Paul and with Adam
good
Battered
shout.
that is coming next year.
Amrabat, yeah.
And Castrovilli, if you got Castrovilli, De Paul, and Arambat, and then you get somebody else, I think the midfield would be set. Chiesa, he wants to leave, please.
But if he
you
doesn't
don't
change
wanna
a
stay
formation-
there, leave and get somebody. Get the money for this guy.
Get Muriel.
Get 60, 70 million and get a nice
60,
forward.
70 million.
If you get a nice center forward, somebody that puts the ball in the net, Ribéry will be able to give you the ball. Okay, Ribéry can score the goal and he can give you that final pass to make you score the goal.
What kind of forward should they get? Should they get a young guy or should they get
No.
a more
You need
experienced player?
somebody that puts the ball. It's experience. They got the young guys. They got
Any-
Vlahovic is a young guy.
Cutrone?
Cutrone, you need somebody
That's so
experienced
too.
there with Ribéry. They understand each other, same mentality. I give you the ball, you put it in.
You're going to hate me for saying this. Antonio's going to hate me for saying this. What about Higuain? He's got no place at Juventus.
He's gonna go back to Argentina. He said no.
How much money does he make? I don't know if he makes a lot of money.
7 million?
He'd be good. He'd be a good fit.
Seven,
over there.
okay. He's got to take a
I
cut.
don't-
He's a
I don't
scorer.
think anybody makes more than 4 million at Fiorentina.
So he's gotta
that-
take a cut.
That's you know.
He's been stealing a wage for...
Chiesa is not clicking in Fiorentina, maybe in another team, but in Florence, it's already... It's like a bad karma for him.
I don't want to steal your idea, but you had said this before.
60,
You said
70
it's time for
million.
Fiorentina. Just find the new coach. The
Yes.
season, you're not going to get relegated.
Yes.
You're not going to go up. You might as well use this time since you're not going to have a break to just
Get
get
the coach
a new
as
coach and
soon
get the
as
idea.
possible so that he's ready.
Spalletti.
Because there's not
Spalletti,
going to
yeah.
be a break between seasons.
Yeah.
You're not going to have a month vacation and they're going to go straight from one season to the other season. You start
Spalletti,
them
you
now.
say that?
I say Spalletti.
You
I've
start
been
him
saying
now.
Spalletti for
They're
so
talking
long.
Emery,
Before
but-
they even got Montella, I said Spalletti.
Yeah.
They
They're
just have
saying
to go for
they're
him.
saying Emery. I don't
Listen,
know.
I
about
think
Emery.
before you start playing the fancy football, you need to start setting up the team. And Spalletti has a track record where he's able to be that person. Maybe doesn't bring you to the promised land, but he's going to be able to stabilize your team. He's going to work on certain tactics
I agree.
and form. And he knows he has enough leadership in the locker room to make sure that certain things don't fall apart.
I agree.
You know?
Any coach that you're thinking in your mind that could work for Fiorentina?
Listen, Joe Barone is a friend. I mean,
You say that every single podcast.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Not the wrong, but
I'm not.
everyone
I'm just.
hears you.
My
Everyone knows.
question was: do you have anybody in your mind to coach Fiorentina?
I will give him Pioli for free, but I don't even like Pioli.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Yeah,
know.
he's not- he's not
It's
good.
your friend and you're going to go with the old.
I'm saying,
That's not a very good friend.
Spalletti is not a good fit for Florence.
Isn't he from Florence?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it's just
He's the perfect fit for
he
Florence.
demands too much money. This doesn't have
He's a little bit expensive, but
Yeah,
I think he's worth it. I think he's worth
Ted
it.
Zerbi. Those are the
Well,
coaches.
yeah,
Ted
yeah.
Zerbi.
they said to be just renewed with Sassuolo.
Yeah, he's gonna stay
You
there.
know who I like and
Allegri, imagine.
Allegri.
No.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't go, but that'd be
Allegri-
crazy. I know you wouldn't.
Livorno.
No,
Allegri
you're
is
not
like
gonna-
a
Allegri,
He's gonna go to
No,
England.
you're
or
not
waiting
somewhere.
for
I know he's
Manchester
not.
United,
Yeah, I know, I know, I
PSG.
know.
You know,
Who
so
are you gonna
he's,
say?
he's at a different level. But a coach that I like
What about
is
Pirlo?
Fonseca. I like Fonseca. I
Pirlo.
think he always says the right thing. He's very calm. I think he's smart, but he's in a team right now that is a mess. they are just, and I think that the guy is a good coach, but he doesn't have the right team and the right management on top of him to make him successful. If he would have somebody that, would trust him, give him the team, I think the guy could do well.
That's a gamble.
Unlikely they
though.
let him go.
Hey,
That's
Unlikely
a gamble.
they
What
let him
about
go.
Pirlo?
Pirlo's going to coach the
I
Juventus
know, but that's what I'm
U23.
saying. Instead of just taking a little project
You
like
shouldn't
that,
throw
no
it. You
experience.
shouldn't
He
throw
has
it
no
to Fiorentina.
experience.
What are you gonna do,
experience.
throw
What
it
are you talking
He doesn't
about?
have any coaching experience.
Oh
You
my
don't have to
God,
be a
Jesus.
Mike,
They got
crazy.
mad.
Mike,
They got
are you
mad. Oh my
crazy?
God.
Why am I
It's like you said something
crazy?
about
Guy,
Gonzalo
He's a great
Vaz.
player. This is the same thing
The
with
guy
Maldini. He doesn't have
playing
any
the best
experience.
coaches of the world. You don't need
my
experience
God.
of that. You do not need experience.
What do you
All
mean
I'm-
you don't
all
need
I'm saying is
I would
experience?
plug him right in. I would plug Pirlo right in.
How does that make any sense?
It does
You
make
need a proven
100%
coach.
sense.
You need a proven coach.
You need to shave like a bumper. You missed a spot.
Atalanta beat Napoli 2-0. Atalanta, to me, today, I thought they had secured it, but today I think they
Officially,
officially secured Champions League, 12 points ahead in fourth place. So happy for them. Not even a surprise at this point. I know Napoli, Gattuso was mad with his men. He wasn't happy with the efforts that the team showed. Again, Napoli, you're not going to get Champions League. If you won this, then maybe you're going to start talking about possibly.
hard,
So I think that today was the end of the road. Napoli's season defined by Coppa Italia, winning the Coppa Italia, and then obviously getting a Europa League spot.
But kind of optimistic though for Napoli, considering what went on in the beginning
Yeah,
of the
it's
season,
fine.
right? They won a
they're
trophy.
not getting Champions
Gattuso,
League.
they renewed with him. He's looking good.
But they're not getting Champions
And
League.
Champions League was always like maybe we'll hope, but
not
realistically
before the
it
season.
wasn't.
When they
that's
got
what I'm saying. No,
Ancelotti?
when they
Yeah, I'm saying
swapped.
before the season.
That's what I'm saying. It's not that much of a disappointment for how the season
Udinese
went.
2-0 over Roma. We spoke about it a little bit.
How about Napoli?
Yeah,
What else about Napoli?
I was
Sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, Napoli, I think that's as good as you're going to get. You won 5 games in a row. Gattuso is trying very hard, but now you need to go to the next step. And according to him, the mentality was not there. They said the team was talking too much. And that's where, when you reach that point, you have to be humble and you have to be focused. And like he was saying, they got distracted and too much talk.
Did you see the game by any
So-
chance? Because Napoli didn't look hungry at all. They're making a lot of mistakes.
Right,
But they defended Atalanta pretty well. But then Atalanta immediately they scored a goal. So you can
And-
tell Gasperini went crazy on
Right,
them in
and
the
for
locker room.
Atalanta, beautiful. They play beautiful soccer. I can't wait for Champions League.
Champions League.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Can't wait.
Next
Yes.
month, guys, counting down the days.
That's
It's
all
gonna
I
be
got.
crazy.
Okay.
Oh, and last one, Atalanta, first time in their history, they won 7 straight Serie A games. These guys are breaking records every time they play. Incredible from them.
That's what Gasparini says. He wants to break the points, the record for points 3 years ago. But I don't know how many points they had 3 years ago. I know they got 60 points now. We'll check it out.
Yeah, we'll check it out. The Roma Udinese 1-2-0. Udinese, a
surprising.
team not surprising. Udinese, a team fighting for their lead, fighting for their life, fighting to be saved. And Roma's not a team that impresses me. So no, I'm not surprised. And Udinese could have made it more at one point. So yeah,
They were coming down from a 2-0 loss to Milan, though. And you'd expect against Udine at home at the Olimpico to win this game. And you could have lost
surprised by
5-0
it.
this game. It was embarrassing for Roma. I expect, if I bet, I would have expected Roma to win 3-0 or something, convincingly.
When they lost Manolas,
crazy.
everything is going down, right, Mike?
All right,
No,
but
it's not that.
Udinese, if you like Udinese, they had what 28 points. They had 28 points before this game.
Yeah.
And Sampis got 29, and Genoa 26, and Lecce 25. Hey,
Yeah.
if they remain at 28,
It's dangerous.
one of those teams got to go to Serie B.
Yeah, I get that. But
And now they are 31 with Fiorentina and Torino.
a little breathing room.
A little breathing room. So this game was very, very
But
important.
you're not surprised by
to
Roma?
them. Roma is a mess.
I know, I get
Please sell this team, Pallotta. Pallotta has been criticized now by the fans and by Roma. Sell this damn team and move on. You don't want to be there. Sell the team. I know you're not going to get. You're going to lose $100 million. Okay.
Don't worry, it's chop change for you,
Right.
Pallotta.
Well, it's more than what
But
he put in.
what are you going to do? The players, the coach must say, what the hell are we doing here? What am I doing? Am I going to be here next year? who's buying, who's selling. There's such a confusion, and that's not right.
Yeah, for the fans, it's not right.
It's not right for the fans.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
Roma is a great. They got great
Big market.
Yeah, big market, great fans. You know, great
fan
city.
base,
You know, fan base. You know, it's not right.
All right, I have a bone to pick with some people right now.
Oh boy.
Luis Muriel this week said, next year, Atalanta, we're going to try to fight for the scudetto. He got very criticized by a lot of non-Atalanta fans for saying this. First of all, he was asked a question. He was asked if they could fight for the scudetto this year. And he said, listen, this year we lost a lot of points. That's not what we're thinking about. He said, but for next year, it's definitely our objective to fight and win the scudetto. And a lot of people said, Atalanta, you're cocky, you're arrogant, you shouldn't be saying that you want to do this. And my response to that is that that's the exact mentality that's wrong with so many Serie A clubs.
That's true.
You have this mentality. They said, how are you going to compete with Juventus? How are you going to compete with the Inter that spend this money? That is the exact mentality that's wrong with Serie A clubs. Like, for example, SPAL that have this mentality, oh, we're playing Milan. Oh, we're doing this. It's good that Muriel and Atalanta have this mentality of, did it ever seem possible? Did it ever seem realistic that they would make Champions League? It never seemed realistic if you want to go by these standards. But because they have this mentality that with good football, with unity, with the right ideas, and continuing to attack, we can achieve whatever we want. So I think that this is amazing for Muriel. I don't think he should be criticized at all. They're saying you shouldn't say this in public. That's not how it works. Yeah. You know who doesn't say? A loser who doesn't say it because they're too scared to say it. This is a winner's mentality. Atalanta are a winning team, and you have to have confidence. There's a difference between being cocky and being confident. They are confident in their ability based off everything that they've shown, beating Juventus, beating all these teams in front of them, that they say they can go and win it. So I don't see this as cockiness. I see this as Muriel and his Atalanta being winners and having the right mentality.
Marco, 100%. I want to add on to that. I just want to say realistically, how many quality signings do Atalanta need to go toe-to-toe with
first of all, do you guys agree?
Okay.
Or should you not come out and say this?
I always
something
said that Atalanta it's a team for the first 3 places. And I will never be surprised. If Atalanta goes very far in the Champions League, as far as actually to the final or semi-final, or maybe winning.
I think they could win.
But my question is it wrong for him to say this?
I think that they're playing with a lot of confidence, but when a player says that, usually
you're setting yourself up.
If you're a champion, if you're a superstar, if I remember superstars from soccer or from other sports, and when they talk and then when they deliver. Because now if you talk, when you go on the field and you step on the field, you have to deliver. Otherwise, they're going to say, hey, but you said this.
But they've been delivering.
Yeah.
They've been delivering for years.
You're talking about next year for Scudetto. So next year, when the season starts, he has to deliver every time he steps on the field because he said, we're going for the Scudetto. So usually the superstars, they can deliver when they say something, I'm hoping that he delivers. Yeah, it's a lot of confidence. If you say that, you're putting pressure on yourself. But if you're a good player and you're of a different level, you could deliver that.
They have the most goals scored in the league. They have the most goals scored. It's not unrealistic to think that they could fight for the Scudetto next year with a couple of defenders.
Well, I think going off that, you have to be able to back up what you say. I think Atalanta right now, they're feeling good and they've done great for the past 3 years. So, I mean, they've proven that they can come against Juventus and play against Inter, Milan, all these top teams and beat them. Napoli, whatever it is, they're up for the challenge. Now it's just a matter of can they compete economically? When you go into the Champions League, and this year, if they get confirmed in the Champions League, that's an extra 40 million plus that comes into your books. The fact that they're still in Champions League now, if they're able to go another round, there's some significant money that's able to come into Atalanta. Now, it all depends on the top, and I think Atalanta as a piazza is probably Bergamo is probably one of the better cities, and it's small, so they don't have the real pressure. Even Muriel saying it, who believes that Atalanta's gonna, compete for the scudetto? We could all see it as far as how they play, but if they lose, it's like,
Yeah,
what are you
exactly.
gonna do? It's
Exactly.
Juventus, it's Inter,
Exactly.
game to play. So I mean, even with him saying it, they don't have that pressure.
I
The only
agree.
thing is, but like Gaetano said, now next year comes, you better turn it on, Muriel, because you're the one that said it.
That's true. Yeah.
Anto, anything to add or no?
Well, listen. First of all, like I agree, 80% with whatever your father said. But this team here, year in and year out, they've been showing that they have the best system on the field. The coach is spectacular. They never seems to be tired. Look at the amount of pressure, the way they attack. But if you look at that much of the field that the team covers, it's very short. They don't do much running back and forth, back and forth. The team is compact. It's like a unit. Boom, they move up, and they move down. This is like the Atalanta. You don't see the team stretched out. So I think part of the fact that Atalanta looks all the time fresh and they're putting that kind of pressure on the ball handler is because Gasperini system is a system of 10 people attacking and 10 people defending. Not literally, but that's what it's all about.
So
Well, I saw by the end of the game that Papa Gomez, he made a tackle inside his own area.
That's right. Yeah,
Defensive
yeah. I saw
tackle
him.
inside his own
Hit it
area
for a corner.
at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
you know who's a player for them? Romero. The guy from Genoa,
Center back?
who Juventus they have to give him away.
You're trying
I
to
think-
sell him, huh? You know,
No, to be honest, I love Romero, but I think at Atalanta that could be perfect sign. They need center back. They need defenders because the defenders that they have right now are not capable enough to try to go win a Scudetto. They need better defense because they give up too many goals.
How many signings though do they need to realistically compete for the Scudetto?
Four
good
signings.
quality signings.
Four
Three,
signings.
4, 5. How many?
4 signings.
They don't need to sell anybody.
No, yeah.
That's true.
Considering
That's
considering
very
that,
true.
but I'm saying added on top of that.
That's probably the biggest point, though. He's
Yeah.
right. He's right.
I
You
meant
know,
to
Don't sell
when it's
people.
a market like that and people come and give you a lot of money,
That's
it's
true.
very difficult to, how many players that they given away, Atalanta?
Yeah, a lot.
But this season they kept all their big players.
Yes,
So
this season
so if
they
they
did.
continue this, that's a question. How many do they need to really for that depth to really compete for that?
3 to 4
Scudetto?
players, in my opinion. Two very
Quality.
good,
I think
very
we're
good center backs.
Esposito from Inter.
Romero, no, an attack.
they don't
I
need
wouldn't even
anyone
say
in
an
attack.
attack.
They don't need a
I think
single-
another
one
midfielder,
midfielder
and maybe
and two center backs,
two
maybe.
center backs, and then I don't know where else in the team. Maybe some backups, but I want 2 very good center
Yeah,
backs.
yeah.
Romero
That's their-
one,
that's
and
their
I
main
don't know.
one.
I just thought on the top of my head. Somebody really good.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Hey, Derun is a
Also-
good.
Yeah, but he's a
So-
It's a
midfielder.
center
I
mid.
want a center back.
Also, when you play for the Champions League, you might play every 3 days.
It's true.
So now you need, all those teams that play every 3 days, they have 2 teams.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
When they play Coppa Italia, they play another team. 5, 6 new players.
The good thing is they don't look tired when the games they play, so they're doing something
Let's-
right.
Atalanta is a
Okay.
Guys,
machine.
let's go to the audio only question and answer from Twitter. So if you're at this point in the video podcast, link in the description. You can listen on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google Play, anywhere you listen to podcasts. We're going to answer your questions that were sent in from Twitter.